Everyone, today we got my Blu Ray showcase for 2025. I know it's been what, 2 months, 5 months, 10 years since you last heard me, and I'm pretty sure like 20 children were born when I originally made this video last year. So, you know, gonna do my showcase of everything I've brought. Also, shout outs to my friends who have either gifted me these or not. I'll put a link down below to the people who have brought me either these movies or not. And all of that being said, let's get started, shall we? So starting off with the A's, obviously we got Argo, great thriller. Watched this for the first time whenever was it Air called? Whatever Ben Affleck's last movie was called Air, Nike shoes movie. I picked this up, watched it, fucking loved it. That's a good movie. Next up, Ant-Man. I love this movie. I'm sorry, this is in my top 10 Marvel movies of all time. I know a lot of people say, why, this is not in most people's top 10. To me, this is one of the best Marvel movies out there. Still holds up. Watched it recently when I was sick. Loved it. Ant-Man and the Wasp, not as good as the first one, but definitely way better than, what is that called, Quantum Mania. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Shittier. Shout out to Adam, this movie, so I stole that joke from him. But give him credit for it. To me, this movie is a lot of fun though. Not as good as one, but it's very close. Next up, and the last four actually, yeah, these next four will go together, but we'll do them separately. The Avengers! One of my least favorite Marvel movies, actually, one of my least favorite MCU films. I know, shocker. I know a lot of people say this is their favorite of the Avengers movies, or if not, top 2. For me, this is my least favorite of the 4. I find that movie just so boring up until you get to the third act with, in New York, and then that's when the movie saves itself, but for me, beyond that, it's just boring. A movie a lot of people say is boring, but I don't. Age of Ultron. I actually prefer this over the original. And for me, this is one of my favorite Marvel movies. This is actually in my top 10, funny enough. Yeah, I think Ultron's better than Loki. I'll put my foot down on that. I will stand by that ground. I think Thor is my main criticism in this movie. Is this guy here, Thor. He's pointless in this fucking film because he's barely in it. He shows up like 3 times. And then he fucks off and he shows up again for the third act. That's about it. But overall, I personally think it's better. Next up, obviously, Infinity War. You know I own this bitch. I mean, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, fucking villain introductions, which is Thanos. I think he's got the baddest opening of these movies. I mean, he's fucking slaughtering like 50 dudes in the beginning of the movie without even hesitation. And then we cut, and you just see it all. And it's like, to me, this is awesome. Infinity War, definitely a top 5 Marvel movies, but not my favorite. And next up, Avengers Endgame. My favorite movie theater experience. I saw this in cinemas. I loved it. I love this movie. One of the greatest. Endgame. Love you 3000. Next up, now we're going to start with the B's. We got a good chunk of B's. So starting off with Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Cut. I don't know why I picked this up actually. I don't know why. But I have fun with it. It's a fun movie. I have fun. Ultimate Cut's way to go. Theatrical cut, dog shit. Next up, Blade Runner 2049. Shout out to one of my mates for buying me this. I'll put their links down below in the description. Thank you for buying me this, mate. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite films of all time. It's not like top 10, but it's definitely up there. Next up, Black Hawk Down. I actually watched this for the first time whenever Gladiator 2 came out. I had the Blu Ray and I never watched it. And then whenever Gladiator 2 came out, I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this. You know, because Ridley Scott, whatnot. And I was like, oh shit, I love this one. It's not my favorite of his films. I still think the first Gladiator is a little bit better, but it's definitely up there for me though. Definitely up there. Next up, Blade. Another shout out to my mate. You're going to hear a lot of shout outs to my mate. I'll put his link down below in the description. But, you know, Blade, the first one. I have the second one, but it's on DVD, unfortunately. And but the first one I generously love. I actually think the second one. And can we please get the fucking 4K for Blade 2 and Blade Trinity? I mean, come on, fucks me over. I want that shit. I want all 3 of them on 4K so I can watch them all back to back. Black Panther. This movie has a traumatizing legacy with me. We'll put it that way. I have bad blood with this movie at the moment. And that's not saying it's a shit film. I love it, obviously. I brought it. But I brought this the day Chadwick Boseman passed away on his 3rd year anniversary after he passed away in 2020. I brought this in 2023, like, the day he died. And this movie's haunted me since. Like, I mean, I've not watched it yet, so I don't know. But, you know, rest in peace, Chadwick. You know, you're a legend, mate. You're good. Next up, The Bourne Supremacy. And then, well, you've seen the next one, Bourne Ultimatum. Bourne Supremacy, my least favorite of the first 3 Bourne movies. I know people say Bourne Identity. People say this is the favorite. This is actually my least favorite of the first 3 films. But still kick-ass, you know, I still love it. And then here's my favorite of the franchise, The Bourne Ultimatum. This is my number 1 of the whole series. I know some people say, oh, why isn't it Bourne Identity? This and Identity go back to back, but for me, this is in my top 5 films of all time. I love it. C's! Short up pile. Cocaine beer. I completely forgot I owned this. I immediately was like, when did I buy this? And I forgot about it. Cocaine beer. Fun movie though. It's a really fun concept. Captain Marvel. Yeah, it's a good Marvel movie. It's not great, but it's okay. I enjoy it. It's better than the Marvels. Fuck. It's better than that shitty sequel for Marvels. Fuck, that was terrible from a few years back. Next up, the Captain America trilogy. We've got First Avenger. The weakest of the 3 films, but still good. Still a good Marvel movie. I put it on the good category. The Winter Soldier. My favorite Marvel movie, funny enough. One of the badass movies. Got one fight scene in the elevator. I mean, come on, that elevator fight scene. S tier. S fucking tier. And, of course, Civil War. Now, this is good, but could have been a slightly little bit better. Because I'm not big into politics, and this movie is about... Fuck. English. It's about politics. I'm not big on politics, so for me, it's good. I enjoy it. It's in my top 10, but it's not perfect. Next up, now we're on D's, and then I'll come back, grab my E's. We'll go from E to O, to M, and then we'll be done. Next up, Deadpool 2. I don't have the first one, unfortunately. Or Deadpool and Wolverine, which is my favorite of the franchise. This is my least favorite of the Deadpool films, but I love it. Still. I mean, it's still fun. Next up, Die Hard 4.0. Come on. It's Die Hard. I own it. Apparently we got a new Lynn Wiseman movie, the new Ballerina movie, so when that comes out, I definitely am planning to rewatch all his films. Because I'm a big fan of his. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. My second favorite Planet of the Apes film. I love this movie. Still holds up very well, funny enough. Dr. No, the original James Bond movie, the very first film. And really good movie, you know. One of my favorite Connery films. My second favorite Connery film behind Goldfinger. We'll get to that one. But for Departed, massive thanks to my mate for buying me this. I'm going to have to put like 500 links to his channel now. Fuck. Departed, my favorite Martin Scorsese film. My favorite DiCaprio, my second favorite DiCaprio film. Yeah, second favorite. Matt Damon's third, Nicholson's second, and Wahlberg's best, in my opinion. For me, The Departed, it's fucking incredible. Next up, Django Unchained. My favorite Tarantino film, funny enough. A lot of people seem to be very split with this one. People love it, people hate it. I love this movie. But, you know, what can you do? People have their opinions on this film. I love it personally. For me, it's his best film. And the last of these is Daniel Craig 2-pack films. We got Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. Casino Royale is kick his ass. Quantum of Solace sucks dick. Yeah. Thanks. But, with all that, I'll be right back.